Thank you, Chairman. Good morning. Good to see you, Secretary. Nice to meet you, Chairman. My questions are related to probation and parole, and specifically to you, Chairman. What is your agency's current caseload?
Our current caseload is 1 per 74, and we have a workload formula of 130 hours.
Okay, let me make sure that I understand that. So as an agency, the whole number, how many people do you have on your contingent across the state?
Okay, our complement, we have approximately 37,213 offenders who we currently supervise. And for our complement for field agents, our workload caseload, which are two different things, is 1 in 74, and our workload formula for the amount of work that they spend is 130 hours.
Thank you. Right now, do you have issues with retention of agents, and how many vacancies do you currently have?
Currently, we hold a 4% vacancy rate. Where we have the most difficulty in retaining employees is in Philadelphia, and we use our civil service testing for prospective employees, and we currently have 1,204 employees in the agency itself.
Okay, thank you. Can you give me an idea of what it costs, the average cost, to supervise an individual on parole versus housing in the institutions?
Yeah, that figure varies from county to county in some situations, but for the board, it's approximately $2,500 to supervise individuals under supervision compared to $35,000 for the DOC. In reference to rehabilitation and recidivism, I think it's very important as we look at that to look at all the different aspects, whether it's educational, vocational, training skills, when we are doing reentry with our individuals to try to reduce recidivism.
Quite a cost savings. How does that compare to other states? And I know we've talked about you can't compare the housing because of different situations, but
I don't have those numbers with me, but we can get those numbers back to you.
Well, that would be terrific. Lastly, I read in your budget materials that both criminal and technical violations have been declining, as well as the 1-year and 3-year recidivism rates. I heard in some of the testimony this morning the programs and strategies that you believe are making that happen. Can you talk just a little bit about the systems that you have in place for cross-checking with counties, et cetera, to make sure that we are counting all of our recidivism numbers, and then how will that collaboration be impacted by the flat funding of adult probation services at the county level?
Well, through justice reinvestment, one thing was pointed out in justice reinvestment. I think a lot of the burdensome came on the county probation and parole departments. So I understand that fact in itself. Over the last 3 years prior to this, funding has been decreased for the county probation and parole departments throughout the Commonwealth with the additional burdensome on them. We asked for an increase for the grant and aid for the county probation and parole departments. And really through justice reinvestment, there's where the mechanism in place where we're trying to get additional funding to the county probation and parole departments. As the Secretary said before, is we're looking to take some of that back end resources and front end the resources at the county level. And through the savings, hopefully in 14-15, because we've been in a positive mode, hopefully we can reinvest some of that money back into the county probation and parole departments. As for, I forget your first question.
How does that? Well, my first question was, what's the cross check? Right, what's the cross check?
The 42% recidivism rate is the board. Each of the counties probably have their own recidivism rate per their own county, but the recidivism rate of 42% is for the board recidivism rate, not the overall criminal population, because the counties supervise probably close to 237 offenders under supervision in the county. The board supervises approximately 37,000 offenders, so the recidivism rate will vary from county to county, but the board's recidivism rate is 42% over a 3-year period. And we're always looking to increase ways that we can communicate and work through our probation advisory committees and see how we can work better between the counties and the state for giving additional resources and training to provide for evidence-based practices, and whatever resources that the state can provide for those, we look to do.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Secretary.